What is going on, everybody? Long time no talk. It has been a busy month or so, but after 4 months of waiting, I finally got the suspension parts for the RZ, and in true Mitchell fashion, I put it together the other night and took it for a little test ride. So I will definitely have videos of this thing running. It runs crisp and very, very good. I had to do a little bit of shakedown with it, you know, checking over some things. So that's kind of why I focused not on videoing it, because there's a few little tweaks I had to do. Jetting is just about right for the Carbon Tech reeds I have on it. So I have Carbon Tech reeds. It's bored over basically to the last bit on the cylinder. I think it's like 2 millimeters over. And 430 mains in it and 20 pilots with the 2-in-1 air filter from Toomey, as well as the Toomey exhaust. So all that being said, jetting is just about perfect. I might bump the pilot up to a 22.5 just because I have the air fuel mixture set at about 2.5. 2.5 turns out is where this bike likes to sit. The needle is on about the middle position. Needles are. So long story short, might jet it up one. I took it for like about a 50-mile ride and the plugs look fantastic. I'm getting where my hesitation is and why I'm talking even about rejetting it is because at about 3,500 to 4,000, it's got a little slight hesitation on the throttle at about quarter throttle, from quarter throttle on. So potentially need to, but at the end of the day, don't have to. Long story short, ba-boom, ba-boom. There'll be a whole separate video for that. In the meantime, I have a customer project. This is an XR80, 2000 XR80 that I am going through doing field petcock on. Gonna get a new carburetor for it. Just some miscellaneous stuff. So that'll be kind of the focus of my next little projects over the next couple weeks, I guess. Carbs on order. Field petcock just came in, so let's get everything put on. Super easy. Boom. Stick it in the hole. Ooh. So there's virtually nothing to do with these field petcocks. You literally stick it on and stick 2 bolts in here. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Put it in. And just like that. Field petcock is on. Tank is back on the bike. Yay, yay. So now I gotta wait for a carburetor to come in and a slick new air filter for it. I just got a spark plug as well for it. Yeah, it's a pretty easy project. Nothing really to it, to be honest, other than 165 bucks in parts. Time to change the oil. Gloop, gloop, gloop. Oh, ouch. Let's see if this oil has any gasoline look to it. Ah, not too bad. It's pretty clean. Kind of smells like gas in it though. I'll tell you that. Let's pull that over. So it drains all the way out. Ooh. Oil is all changed here. All good to go, no drips on the floor. New spark plug. I just put fuel in it and tested the petcock. The petcock is not leaking any fuel. So now we await for a brand new carburetor. Got an OEM Honda carburetor for 150 bucks. It's a Kian carburetor. I could get a Chinese one. I could have gotten one for like 25 bucks, but for having like the OEM carburetor for 150, you go with the OEM all day long. You don't gamble on Chinese carburetors. Sorry, nothing against Chinese people, but it's just not good craftsmanship. And for an example, just so you have an awareness, I have run Chinese jets before, or non-standard jets in carburetors. Like if you had a Mikuni carburetor, you just go online and get like a random jet, and I've had issues with it. You switch it back to a Mikuni jet, like a standard jet, and you don't have any issues. So that's one recommendation: do not cheap out on carburetor stuff. You will be taking it back apart, guaranteed. So pretty much got the fenders all on. I had to put a different bolt in here for the guy, and I did have to do a little zip tie special, you can see right there, to hold this fender on. The guy doesn't want to spend the money to get a new fender at the moment, and this is really the best I can do for now. But one wise piece of advice is always to call customers before you drill holes in plastic. Don't want to have a pissed off customer, that's for sure. So yeah, let's wait till we get a carb and tear it up with it. Probably ride wheelies around town here. Be kind of fun. Doing an unboxing right now of my carburetor that I just got. I'm really an unboxing professional. Boom, boom, boom. Oh my gosh, guys. Oh my lord. Honda. Genuine parts, guys. Oof. Oh. Opened it up. Hallelujah. 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 Like my singing? Buy genuine Honda. This is not an ad. Let's get to installing. I know I mentioned in the prior clips the difference between like Chinese made product versus like OEM type stuff. So this is a really good example. So this right here is a Chinese carb that you can get for $25 as a replacement. Okay. This is a stock OEM carburetor. Okay. What I can't show you on the video is the weight difference. If you pick this up, this Chinese version, $25, it literally will feel like something you, it just feels cheap. It feels super light. Feels like I can just, it's like junk. Whereas this is an OEM carburetor that is actually heavy. It's made well, and the best part is it's a Kian, if I remember right. So this is what you want. This no, this yes. Although, are they probably identical and cast pretty much similar? Yeah, probably. But go with the original. Go with the original. So I just pulled off the old diaphragm right here, needle and diaphragm. I'm going to be installing in the new one. Pretty easy, you just put it on here, but I'm going to also put the new caps on here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. So would you look at that? Believe it or not, it appears to me that this cable is actually pressed into the top of this cap. So you cannot actually put the OEM one on it. Interesting. So something I noticed, this old carb here has studs on it. New carb does not. So you got to take these studs out in order to put the carb back together correctly. So the way you do that is you take two nuts, you jam them together, you tighten them together, and then you can twist it off just like you were going to twist off a bolt. Pretty simple. These ones came out pretty nice actually. So tighten them up, and all you need to do is you take the you can put them over both actually. Take it in, and then you can just screw the stud right, just like that. And believe me, they don't always come out that easy. And when you undo it, take your two wrenches here, take them in. Like that. You loosened up the two nuts. So then when you're going ahead and installing the studs, it's the exact same process, just the other way around. tightening instead of loosening. There you go. So now we can stick it onto the motor. Alright, so I just put in the fuel line there underneath the carb. It's got fuel. This bike has not ran in forever, so we're gonna give it first attempt here and see what actually happens. And just like that, she runs. That is why sometimes it's better just to get OEM carbs over trying to rebuild other ones. There she have it. So I had to do just a little bit of carb tuning. I turned the fuel air mixture screw out to 1.5 turns. That's typically where these carbs sit. And then I also went ahead and adjusted the idle, which results in essentially pretty decent idle. It's a little bit higher at static idle like this than I like, but when the bike is running and you drive around for a little bit and you let the gears out and whatnot, it does come to idle down quite a bit. So you know, in gear idle is a little bit different sometimes. It can be a little different, not always, but so it's a little high, but it's fine for now. I might adjust it a little bit once I get the air filter for it, because the guy doesn't have a stock air filter or anything for so I had to order just like a essentially like a K&N air filter to go on the end, because he doesn't want to spend the money, which I don't blame him. I wouldn't either. Not on something like this. It's, believe it or not, they still hold their value quite a bit, but they these bikes, but why buy the stock stuff if it's never going to be stock ever again, right? So if you like the video, please subscribe, hit that like button, etc. Probably going to be about all I'm going to do. I'm not going to show the air filter putting on. That's super easy. You just screw it in. So next video will be me riding the RZ. Was going to do it today, but it's so windy out that the audio will be absolutely trash. So stay tuned, boys and girls.